I've been smoke-free for 90 days after 25 years of smoking. The biggest thing that I've learned is this. Quitting smoking isn't one phase, it's two. Hitting 60 days smoke-free, then 90 days smoke-free gave me enough distance from that daily fight to allow me to see the bigger picture of what's going on here. And that's what I'm excited to share with you today. I'm gonna break down what phase 1 and phase 2 of quitting smoking actually looks like, especially if you're in your 40s and trying to quit long term. Phase 1 is all about battling the early cravings. It's raw, loud, and it's uncomfortable. That first 30 to 60 days, that's where everything feels like a test. Now, phase 2 is different. It's about building a life that actually supports staying quit. So you don't have to white knuckle it, or worse yet, wing it forever. If you're committed to quitting smoking and exploring a second half rebuild of your health, mindset, and environment, this channel is for you. Hit subscribe and join our journey. We can start here, like quitting nicotine, and we can go from there. Sky's the limit. Let's zoom out and call everything that I've shared so far phase 1. Phase 1 was about standing up for yourself and fighting back. Deciding that smoking was no longer desired and digging in to push back against that deeply entrenched habit. First, I made a plan. Then I set my quit date and some non-negotiable rules. I pushed through those first 72 hours, which honestly felt brutal. I learned to ride the craving waves, establishing my bulletproof why, as in like why I quit. I made it to 30 days, and once there I thought, all right, 30 days. Okay, I can do this. Then I buckled down and I held the line for 60 days. And I did so by filling those ritual gaps, with new habits. And I started to feel the ground under my feet a little bit more. Phase 1, it's messy. And it takes some time and some patience. And what I know now, that's completely normal. Your timeline may look different. Like maybe your first 20 days are worse, than mine. Or maybe it takes longer, maybe it takes less. When you sit back and look at it, I don't think that there's any right curve. But there is a key point here. And surviving the cravings is not the same thing as staying quit long term. The survival mode is what gets you up and going and out of the fire. But it's not how you want to live forever. I wouldn't wish that on anyone. Okay, so wherever that intersects for you, that marks the beginning of phase 2. A quick update on the patch. And by the way, I've linked below all the tools and supports I used on this quit journey, and some I still use. You'll find all the details in the Quit Smoking Toolbox section of the description. Go ahead and check it out. 2 weeks ago, I successfully finished the 10-week program. It really helped me stabilize those phase 1 cravings. Yeah, it took the edge off, so I could focus on changing habits instead of suffering. I felt like my body was ready to move on, as in off the patch by week 8, but I stuck with it till the end as the process recommended. Right now, I'm fully off nicotine. No cigarettes, no vape, no patches, no gum, no mint. The win? Well, I'm not buying cigarettes anymore. Or I'm not even buying the patches or other quit smoking aids. So that's basically real money staying in my account indefinitely. Yeah, every month. Versus paying the equivalent of a mortgage payment to the cigarette companies / government taxes. You know what I mean. But instead of feeding the nicotine addiction, that money is now being reinvested in my health and my environment. That's a huge part of phase 2. This is where the change money, or the money to make that change, actually comes from. And for me, it proved to be more than enough to make a meaningful difference in my life. Not only for me, but for my family as well. Phase 2 is what I'd call protecting the quit. You're not in constant emergency mode anymore. Now, it's about building a system to stay smoke-free as your default. For me, it's these 3 pillars. Pillar 1, new habits. Quitting leaves a lot of empty spaces, or what I call ritual gaps. Those are like your smoke breaks during the day, at work, driving, smoking at night, in the morning, after meals. Those little reward moments where you'd find yourself smoking. You have to replace those ritual gaps. Pillar 2, my wife and I started paying attention to what we bring into our home. Cleaner household products, better personal care products, and daily supplements. I'm taking some of the money I used to burn on cigarettes and putting it into everyday things that support my health instead of working against it. Pillar 3 is a cleaner environment. Physically, that means better air, a cleaner home. Socially, It means less time in a smoke-heavy environments, and I'm more selective now in where I hang out. Mentally, my home now reinforces a non-smoker identity, and so does my vehicle for that matter. The cues around me, they all point to the same thing. You don't smoke anymore, Troy. Your environment supports your quit, or quietly fights against it. You choose. In phase 1, cravings were storms. They'd roll in, and they'd take over my whole brain, and they'd feel like they'd never end. In phase 2, they're more like flashes. They still show up, don't get me wrong. You get a quick thought, like a smell, a memory. This would be a perfect time to smoke moment. Then it passes. I notice them, I redirect, and I remember what I've built over the last 90 days. You know, the habits, the money I'm keeping, and the energy that keeps coming back. If you're in your first 30 days, don't judge the whole future by this 1 month. Like, you're in the hardest phase right now. I'm sure you're aware of that. Like, your brain and your body are still recalibrating. So surviving today, that's a huge win. Now, if you're starting to move into phase 2, maybe past day 30, 60, or 90, start protecting your quit if you haven't already. I mean, it's so easy to slip back into having 1 cigarette and you're right back to square one, and no one wants that. So remember to build those new habits. Keep doing that. Clean up your spaces. Put some of that cigarette money to good use, you know, in better daily systems for your future self. If you want to see how this unfolds at 6 months and 1 year, yeah, go ahead, hit subscribe and stay with me here on Second Wind, Midlife Edition. We're not chasing perfection here. We're chasing real change, and that takes time. Just one phase at a time.